Hello there. Just caught me practicing and riffing out a little bit today, which is going to be the topic of our next lesson today. You probably noticed a lot of what I was playing there was fast and kind of repetitive, okay? And those are called riffs, and they're really cool to learn on the guitar because they feel exciting, they sound exciting, and they have a lot of energy. And that's what I want to talk about today in our lesson 20. Okay, so let's take a look at a classic riff that we have behind us here, just to start off. Just by definition, let's talk about what a riff means. Okay, a riff is something that, in my opinion, is something that you can play over and over again and play it fast to create a certain intensity to it. Right? It could be 2 notes. It could be, just 2 or 3 notes, and it could be played very successfully if you play it in a rapid-fire, fast fashion. It builds an intensity in any part of your solo. But used at the right time, it can really be a nice climax to a solo. Okay? So what I've written out here is a riff basically involving the pentatonic position right here. Now there's a lot of riff possibilities. In this case, I'm in C. There's a lot of riff possibilities in this position of pentatonic, because in this position of pentatonic, you have a lot of combinations of 1 and 3 and 1 and 4. And those are strong combinations on your left hand to rapid fire licks to, right? So when you make a riff, or you learn a riff, or you figure out how to play a riff, it has a lot to do with how fast you can hammer on and pull off. Okay? So this first riff that I came up with here involves a combination of a 4-1 and even a stretch up to the higher position to get a note. In fact, I might actually, because I have to do the stretch here, I might actually use my 3 to play the 11th fret here, right? So maybe I'll do it like this. I could also do it like this if I want to work just on my 4th finger. Either way is good though. Okay, now notice this indication right here means I'm pulling off. I pick it here, and then I pull off on the next note. And then I play the 11th fret there. I just pick that note, and then I do it again. Then I stretch up with my 4th finger, and then I play again. And that's pretty much the beginning of the riff. So once you get the combination down, you practice it slowly, but you want to do it slowly for accuracy, and then you can pick it up for speed later. So once again. Right, and when you get a little faster, right, and when you really get it fast, it starts to really sound like rock and roll. So that's kind of a fun thing about riffs. It sounds impressive and it's flashy, but sometimes they're not the hardest thing you'll play. They just sound impressive. okay? And there's a whole bunch of them in this position. And if you want to find some more riffs, as we've shown you before, in my book, I have a whole bunch of them written out in some various places in my book. I'm going to go over a few of these today as well, okay? But that's one of them. Okay, so let's go back to this position here and talk about some other places where you can play riffs, okay? When you saw me playing just a minute ago, I was in the key of E, so I was in a higher position of this. It was basically up here, but I was playing a lot of riffs that I could use right down here in this position. So let's go over that. In fact, let's actually move to the key of E now. So we'll be right here because I'm going to demonstrate some of this back in my progression down there. So if you were going to play this riff in the key of E, it would be like this. It's actually a little easier because the frets are closer together in this position. But let's cover a few more riffs here. I also did this one. I think I did this one a lot. Right? And that's pretty easy. And it has a triplet in it, which makes a nice rhythmic variation. So check out what I'm doing there. I'm playing. I'm bending from the flat 7 of the scale. That's what I'm doing. And then I grab the root, and then I walk down to the 4th degree of the scale, or the 5th degree, sorry. And then I repeat those combinations of notes. So we have this now. Right? And you get that going fast, once again, it really comes to life. Right? You can put a bend anywhere in the middle of that riff, and it sounds great. It's a great way to end it. Or, right? So if you put that one, you see how that all comes together. You get a lot of combinations that you can put together. Okay? I think I also played this one right here. This is a very classic Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix lick. Right? Now, if I were going to play just in time so you'd hear where the... This is what's interesting about it. Right? If you didn't hear it with the quarter note reference, you might think of it as a triplet because it sounds like a triplet, right? Ba 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 ba, like 3 notes together. Ba 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 ba. You could do it like that, or you can do it as 16 notes. Right? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and it overlaps over the bar, which is kind of cool. Okay, so that's kind of a neat way to play with riffs, is to play around with the rhythm of the riff. Okay.